Welcome to our Yurtiful Life podcast. In today's episode, we will be giving a Yurtiful Life update.
Hey there, Yurties!
Thanks for joining us today. For anyone new here, I'm Keegan.
And I'm Sarah. We've been living a minimal off-grid lifestyle for over 10 years now.
We have a large family and lots of experiences to share.
So let's get to it. Welcome to
Our Yurtiful Life.
So today we're going to be talking about a life update. Where have we been? Why has there been an absence, a little bit of a break, so to speak? And how has winter been overall? Because it has been a long winter.
So we're coming near the end of winter here, and it has been an oxymoron this winter. We have been slow but busy.
So technically it is now spring at the time of this recording, but here where we are, it's still winter outside. There is still snow on the ground, and hopefully it will be melting in the next few days. But yes, slow but busy. It has been a slower season with work and a little slower on the homestead. So
Physically speaking, so the work has been slower and not as much to do, more of a maintenance phase at the moment during winter time. Which gives us more time for home projects.
So we have been very busy with working on different projects around the house. We've been working on decluttering and organization, specifically working on the school setup, the dining room, our kitchen, and the upstairs area, library, playroom. Really just been working on decluttering, downsizing what's not needed or used anymore, and spending some more thoughtful organization and putting that into place. Also, we finished the insulation.
Insulation is all done in the house. Of course, early winter, that was critical to get that done. But that's fully done completely, and so that's the blessing.
Yes, and it has been much warmer in the house, having all the insulation completed, and we had a wood stove upgrade this winter as well, which helped with the heat and replaced one of our old stoves.
Yeah, we were actually able to get a hold of a gravity-fed pellet stove, which I didn't know they existed. But it's been great because it doesn't require any electricity. It just uses gravity to feed the pellets down to the hopper, as long as you keep the back filled. And yeah, it took a little tinkering to figure it out, but that's been a great addition to the heating of the home.
It has definitely been more stable than the old wood stove we had been using in that area, and the old wood stove was well past its prime and so had a lot of issues. So it's much safer and it is much more efficient with heat, which is such a blessing. Another thing we've been busy with this winter has been our spring garden planning, and more so working on focusing on designing infrastructure and figuring out fixing a few areas that need fixing. And a lot of planning, though, has gone in this winter.
We're still working on the garden, but less for planting and harvesting and more for infrastructure and future growth.
And there's been a lot of the little projects here and there, repairing this, hanging pictures in folders, and doing weather stripping, and all the little things that you don't always get time to do throughout this busy season on a homestead. This winter just was able to knock out a lot of the little projects that needed to be done. And so that was good. Also, I think we've had a lot more time fostering family connections with the kids, spending a lot of time sledding and shoveling together and making cookies, and just really spending some good quality family time throughout the winter snowstorms.
We've also had more time for back-end website updates for the business. We've worked more on business planning and strategies before we enter our busy season, which in the summertime tends to be the busy season. So doing more of the back-end maintenance and upkeep and book work for the business.
So all of that said, that is where we have been very busy. We've also been just busy with life in general. When you have 6 kiddos, it is busy all the time, every single day. The last 2.5, 3 weeks, we have been dealing with like constant bouts. We had a really severe cold come through our family, so everybody was congested and it back and forth. And then as soon as that cleared up, within a week, we got hit with a stomach bug, both ends, and it just passed back and forth and back and forth. Thankfully, I think we're through that phase, I hope.
Yes.
But when you have 6 kids, whether they're sick or not, life is busy. And one of our children, Firestone, who's 6, has had ongoing health issues the last year and a half or so. And finally, after a lot of diagnosis and testing, we finally were able to figure out the problem was severe Lyme. And so we have since been undergoing treatment for his Lyme, and I think seeing some
Right.
positive results from
So he
that.
has a variety of chronic Lyme, which is why we're having ongoing issues, and they were flaring up in a different way than traditional.
It was
Um,
causing, specifically, the worst thing for him that it was causing was swelling of his joints to the point where his we had to end up having MRIs done, and they were showing arthritic deterioration in his joints. He's 6. That's not normal and that's
right.
not okay. And after further testing, they found that it was Lyme causing these flare-ups. So we have been undergoing treatment for that, and he is improving.
Yep.
And we had our 3-year-old had a random tooth infection that started but did clear, and we were able to take care of that. Thankfully, didn't need to get the tooth
We
removed.
were getting ready to have, they were getting ready and prepping for surgery from a few weeks later. And when they did the last scan to see where it was at, it had healed
It was
itself and
completely
the
gone, and they
infection was
said,
gone.
"Wow, I guess you don't need surgery now." So
Yep.
that was such a blessing
That's a
that that
blessing.
happened, and we avoided surgery, because for 3, the surgery he had would have had to undergo would have been quite serious. Also, school is in full swing. We have
Hmm.
been busy with homeschooling and trying to, as we're coming into spring, trying to keep that steam going to finish up the final bit. We do tend to push a lot harder at the beginning of the fall and into the winter, and we get a majority of our school done, our book work done at that point, so that these last few months going into the spring and summer, we can take it a lot easier on the book work, but it's still trying to push and get that done. So we've been busy with school, and also family, extended family. We have been helping a lot since last fall. There have been some severe health issues in my family, and that has required extra support of extended family members taking care of some of my siblings who have special needs, while my parents take another brother who had brain surgery again this fall. And just so many little things keep going on. My grandmother was extremely ill. There's just been a lot. So
So,
it seems like we have just been in a constant
yep.
flux of everything happening.
So, like we said, this winter's been oxymoron, slow but busy. Slower in some areas of work, physically on the homestead, but busier in a lot of other areas of life.
So, homesteading update. How is the homestead doing?
Well, we were able to fill our chest freezer with mutton. We had 2 of our sheep we wanted to remove from the flock and made some good meat out of them. So that was a blessing. We got to do that. And we also were blessed with some venison. There's a lot of deer hunting going on. I did a little bit of hunting, not much. I didn't see anything. But guys who caught some, one of them decided to give us half a deer. So that was a blessing.
That
We
was a blessing.
we filled our
We
freezer
do
with
love
half of a
venison,
deer.
that's
Yep.
for sure.
So we had plenty of meat in the freezer this winter, which has been good.
And as far as our critter population, we did have several um, losses over the winter, which was hard, but we also trust that there's a purpose for it.
Losses among our sheep and goats. Yep.
We suspect that we may have gotten some bad hay, which may have caused botulism, to lose a few of them. We had one mama who started going into labor. Unfortunately, she didn't, and she ended up passing herself. She never was stressed or gave any signs of distress, just passed away simply, and it was just really sad to see and unexpected as well.
We lost quite a few ducks, Muscovy ducks, this winter. We really had elongated periods of very cold weather this winter. So I think the ducks, being Muscovy ducks, a South American breed, they had a hard time handling that, unfortunately. We only lost 2 roosters or chickens, I believe. So our chickens lasted pretty well, but we have pure cochins, so they're pretty well furnished for the cold weather.
And I think the roosters that we did lose were loners that didn't hang out with the
Yeah.
flock. They were kind of kept going off and doing their own things. So it wasn't a huge surprise. And as far as the ducks, it really just, again, we said we've been doing a lot of planning on redoing infrastructure. And that's one big thing that stood out to us is we need a better system for the ducks. And you live and learn. And we actually tried 3 different things for the ducks this year, hoping it would be better, safer, warmer for them. And they didn't adapt to any of those situations. We tried them in with the chickens, we tried them in a different shelter, and they just didn't do well in any of them. So
It's
we have to redo it.
The
We have to.
biggest issue is because they are ducks, they love water and they make liquid waste. No matter how cold it is, it can be negative whatever degree weather, and they still want to bathe in that water. So, trying to isolate them from too much water, but give them enough so they can eat their food properly, and then keeping their feet dry, making sure they have proper enough dry bedding because they just naturally wet their bedding constantly. That's what makes part of it really hard to get them on a warm, dry enough spot that they don't freeze.
And getting them to actually use the shelter and training them to that.
Right.
I don't think the ones we had were very
They don't
smart
love to
in
be in
that.
shelters. They'll huddle together, but they'll just do it right out in the open and be exposed to the elements. So, working on that, trying to figure out a better system for that.
So definitely. What are we looking ahead to this coming year? The garden and homestead, we're definitely focusing on infrastructure. We are focusing on finishing up the pasture fencing for the large flock and herd, and
That's our biggest
that's our
project and
biggest
push
one.
for the animals this year. We really need to expand that. We were trying to do that last year, ran out of time and finances. So, we're reapproaching it this year to get that done this spring so that our animals can have proper browsing.
So the fencing is number one priority on the homestead. Number two for the garden infrastructure is getting our berry bushes in this year and getting a few more garden beds. We did make a change in our technique of gardening that I think we're going to implement this year. And I'm very excited about is we've decided that rather than focusing on long-term food preservation and focusing on all of those pushing for increased production. Every year so far, we've pushed for increased production. And this year, we want to take a step back and we're trying to hand over some of those things to our older children. Our 3 older children are almost 7, almost 9, and 10. And they really want to help. They've expressed they want to do more in the garden. So, what we've decided is each of those have 3 children have decided to partner with a little child and to pick one of our main fall crops. So, potatoes, squash, and green beans were the 3 that they chose, and they want to be responsible for that. So obviously, we will give guidance and direction and assistance in that, but they really wanted to try to take charge of those garden beds. And so we're experimenting. We're going to see how it goes, letting them try to run part of the garden, the
Yeah,
fall crop garden
this
for.
has been a low stress, low pressure way for us to introduce them to that. It gives them responsibility they're seeking, but not a huge burden since that's not our focus. If it's productive, it's extra, it's cream. If it's not, it's okay. The focus has been infrastructure. Particularly, we're doing the back to Eden type wood chipping method. So we are looking to invest the time into the wood chips and the manuring and infrastructure building, not just the planting. So the kids can be planting and tending to the best of their abilities and learn and grow. In the meantime, we're still growing the infrastructure of the garden for next year's planting.
Another exciting thing that is that we have launched a second channel, and this is The Mechanic's Wife on YouTube. And this is showcasing our project, Jeep TJ, that has been, it needs more work, and we've been working on it. And we finally just decided to some of the videos we had made working on the Jeep together. And hopefully, we will be able to make more videos in the future and continue with that channel.
For those who are interested, it's a 2005 Jeep TJ or Jeep Wrangler, and with the 4-liter engine, 6-cylinder inline. We're going to have different videos ranging from a front differential rebuild to U-joint replacements and installs to underbody repair and rust work. So, a bunch of smorgasbord of things.
So hopefully that is in the works as well as hopefully keeping up and doing more episodes here on our Yurtiful Life.
Again, that's The Mechanic's Wife on YouTube.
Now, the most exciting update, and we're saving the best for last, of course, is that we are looking forward to this summer and the beginning of fall and a new baby.
Yay! So baby number 7's in the oven.
And this is pretty much a huge reason why we have taken a little bit of a break. We found out at the beginning of Hanukkah, which is in December, and it was an amazing, beautiful surprise to find out that we were expecting another baby. But the first trimester was rough. This was definitely by far my most, this is another oxymoron. It was my most difficult first trimester, but it was also the best first trimester in a lot of ways, in the sense of this was the healthiest I've ever felt going into a pregnancy, and the most that I felt like my body was like ready and like excited,
Most
and
prepared, yeah.
it was the most prepared my body was, but it really was a kicker.
Good thing you were prepared.
The nausea was like, it was severe. I had severe nausea, severe exhaustion throughout the entire first trimester. At the time of recording, we're 18 and a half weeks, and I am still dealing with exhaustion, um, nausea on a regular basis. And yeah, we've tested, like, all of the tests come back perfectly fine. Hormones are fine. My vitamins and minerals and all of those levels are fine. It's just the way my body's responding to this pregnancy has been nausea and food aversion. And poor Keegan, we put all that mutton in the freezer, and that is the one thing my body could not handle this pregnancy was mutton.
That's all right.
And
We keep
so
going.
it has been fun. Baby is doing great. We did have 2 ultrasounds early on to make sure everything was going well, and baby was measuring perfectly, right on track. And so yeah, we're very excited for hopefully a little bit more energy and a little bit more nausea relief in the coming weeks as we continue into the second trimester. But one day at a time, we take it as it is.
So, with all this has been a summary of what the last few weeks, months, and this winter really have been for us in general. If you desire to help, these are different ways you can help us.
The biggest one is to continue to listen, learn, and share the encouragement that you get from our podcasts with others.
Yep. Also, we do have a PayPal donation link available on our page.
As well as we also have an Amazon wish list for those of you who have been asking if there's anything they would like to help with regarding baby specifically. The only thing we are asking people is for their prayers. And if somebody feels like they want to give something for baby, the biggest thing right now is paper goods and disposables for disposable napkins and plates and silverware for when baby comes. Really, that is our biggest thing. And snack foods. Um, those are the biggest things. We pretty much have everything we need for baby. And so that's how we're asking people if they are wanting to share in that way. Then either a financial donation through PayPal that we can put towards those things, or on the Amazon wish list.
Well, I think it's about time to wrap this one up.
Yes, thank you for joining us and putting up with our extended absence.
So please like, share, subscribe, and join our email list.
And don't forget, go out
Dream big
and discover your own Yurtiful life.